Today I'm going to show you how you can turn your car's old crankshaft into this beautiful looking glass top side table. Now this crankshaft is out of a Lexus ES300. It's a 3-liter V6 engine. I've got its crank pulley over here and the crank bolt. I've also got its Flexplate over here. And for the base, if you remember my brake booster video, that's where that came out of. And the first thing I'm going to do is start cleaning up some of these components. So it's got a little wire wheel here, and I'm going to brush off any corrosion or rust. I'm also going to clean up the crankshaft a little. And I'm going to clean up the Flexplate itself. And I'm going to be using these two threaded holes in the crank pulley to bolt it to the base. However, the two holes for the master cylinder are a little bit wider than the two holes in the crank pulley, so I'm going to have to drill some smaller holes on the inside here and get some long bolts and bolt it up. So I slotted these holes out and bolted my crank pulley in, but I realized that this thing is actually pretty flimsy with the weight of the crankshaft. So instead I'm going to use the back half of the brake booster, and I'm going to install the crank pulley onto there. So using my cardboard measurement, I've marked the two holes for the crank pulley in here. I'm going to drill those out. So now with those holes drilled in there, I'm going to insert my bolts and bolt it in. And I'll just tighten these bolts down. Alright, so I got that bolted in there nice and tight. I'll try out this, see how it fits. Much more firm than using the front part of the vacuum booster. I'll just clean up the base of this bottom here to make it nice and flat. Now I'm just going to run some brake cleaner on this just to clean it up before we paint it. Going for a bronze and black theme, so I've got this metallic bronze paint here. I'm going to be painting the shiny parts here all bronze and contrasting it with black. So I've got the flex plate just holding this up. I'm going to hit these parts in black. Now with all the bronze dry, I'm going to put some masking tape on all the bearing surfaces. So we're going to mask that off because we're going to paint the rest black. So with everything masked off, I'm going to paint the balance part of the crankshaft black. So let the paint cure overnight, and things are looking pretty good. I like the contrasting between the black and the bronze on the crankshaft and on this pulley over here. But on the flywheel, I'm thinking it's a little too dark, especially if you're going to have a glass top on top of here. So I'm going to respray the whole top in bronze. So now that everything's painted, I'm going to start assembly of the base here. Just put that down inside of there and put in these two bolts straight into the crank. And I'll just tighten these bolts down. Now I'll just insert the crankshaft. So I just realized that the crank bolt can't go into here first. I got to put the crank pulley on first, the bolt, and then the base. So I've installed the bolt into there. Now I have to install this into the crankshaft. And here's what we got. It's nice and stable. So the next step is to install the flex plate onto the crankshaft here, and then I'll put in all 8 bolts. Now in order to add a little bit of height and get some flat surface for the glass to sit on, I've got the valve here with the valve spring that I'm going to install into the flywheel like that, and then glue these to the glass so it just drops right in. And that's pretty much all it takes to make a beautiful looking crankshaft side table reusing your old engine parts. Make sure you follow me on Instagram for more behind the scenes footage and subscribe for more videos just like this one.